I think like the coolest, most valuable thing I got out of my experience at Gonzaga was my passion and my interest in the acumen I built in inclusion and diversity. That first class, I think, kickstarted my understanding of how to engage in an educated dialogue about identity and how important empowering people with the right language and the right information to articulate their identity is. One thing that I love to do is to be a facilitator, being able to either help folks come to an understanding about a challenging identity topic, helping like see folks actually come to learn something about themselves or learn something about another person was really powerful to me. And then along the way, I'm doing the same thing, right? Like in helping facilitate those conversations, I am learning just as much, if not more. And I think English helps develop this mindset of asking questions, being curious, kind of digging into the deeper truths.
I really believe that literature informs how we think about ourselves and the world. But it's really important to me that my work steps outside of the walls of the academy and really makes a difference, especially work that has to do with marginalized and oppressed peoples.
Language diversity and social justice and global Englishes. And these are courses where the students explore the varieties of Englishes in the US and across the world. I love teaching these courses because it brings to students that there are so many varieties of Englishes out there that are, legitimate and valuable and equally valuable. When we think about equality, we think about all of these categories, but we never think about language, how language affects the lives of people. Language can be a source of celebration and not just a sense of that there's a deficiency. They are multilingual, not monolingual. So I want that to be clear to the students that I teach, and also have them realize that we are not the center of the world, that everything that we see and we hear and how we think have been affected by something. And we have to keep that in mind. Writing is not just a product, but it's the actual thinking of itself, right? So ultimately what we go through is writing is thinking and thinking is writing. And we explore how messy that process is and kind of own it and embrace it.
Studying English here has influenced how I read and write by really giving me a new dimension to the way that I read, write, and think about what I read. Especially Dr. Chisulo teaches this class on critical theory, and that class totally cracked open literature for me in a new way. So what that class does is it introduces you to a variety of theoretical frameworks to bring to texts. So rather than reading like Shakespeare, what we would read is, say, feminist criticism or Marxist criticism or queer theory. And we'd be able to then turn to a text like Shakespeare and say, what would someone like Judith Butler say about this moment in the play? And so now when I write and read and think about texts, I have the presence of all of these other thinkers with me. I feel really excited to have had so many great instructors here at Gonzaga who have sort of modeled for me the kind of teacher that I want to be.